This is my favorite wrap this year if you love that cozy English cottage feel. I'm starting with this beautiful green William Morris style wrapping paper from Amazon. I'll link it in the description box below, plus everything that I'm using in today's video. I'm wrapping the gift, then adding a little strip of double-sided tape to the top center. Then I'm adding this beautiful green velvet ribbon because velvet instantly makes anything feel more expensive. Even plain wrapping paper looks luxe with velvet. I'm wrapping it around the gift a couple times, and this is the magic touch. These wax seal stickers are peel and stick, so you don't need to melt anything or mess around, but they look completely real. I like to add a little sprig of greenery underneath the ribbon and then finish with this simple craft gift tag. This one feels like it came from a boutique, not Amazon. This wrapping technique is one of my favorites. Use relatively plain paper for this one, and you're going to want to make sure that your paper goes around the width of your gift and cut it. And then you want to make sure the bottom of the paper goes about 2/3 up your box. This technique really only works for a perfectly shaped box. And then the top needs to fold over about half of the depth of your box. Now you're going to fold the bottom up to that 2/3 portion. And then just take the right hand side, push it in on the side, and that basically creates two triangles, one on the top, one on the bottom. Crease that. Then on the left hand side, push it up in the middle just like this, crease those two triangles that are created. And then you're going to take the top right hand triangle and fold it over top of the gift, the left one fold it over top. Then you're going to take the next triangle on the right, the next one on the left, and fold those on top. Now you can fold over this piece here just to give it more of a finished look. Take some Scotch tape and just tape that all in place. Then you're just going to fold the bottom of the gift just like you would normally and tape that in place. This pleated technique can make really any wrapping paper look fabulous, and I love how it creates pockets that you can add things to. So for this gift, I'm just going to put some faux greenery inside, and I'm also going to place a gift tag in another one of the little pockets. This might be the easiest way to make a gift look designer with almost no effort. I'm using wine red craft paper and matching it with 1-inch red velvet ribbon for a tone-on-tone look. Instead of just wrapping one strip of ribbon around my gift, I'll pull it around the front of the box to the back, twist it at the back, bring it forward again, and then tie my bow on the front to create a beautiful cross effect. And here's the trick most people miss. Flip the last loop of the bow so the velvet is facing forward. That tiny detail makes the ribbon look fuller, richer, and way more expensive. I think this color combo feels classic and cozy, and it looks gorgeous under a tree. Because this one's a collection of awkward shapes, I'm going to sew a really simple gift bag. So I have a yard or so of fabric, and I'm just measuring how big I need to make my bag. So I'm just making sure that it's twice as wide as I need it to be, and then I'm making sure that it's as high as my gift is, and I'm adding about 5 inches on the top, and just cutting out a giant rectangle just like this. Then I'm folding it in half like this, making sure that the right sides are together, and I'm going to sew along the bottom and the side. I'm making sure I'm leaving about 5 inches open on top because that is where I'm going to have my casing and the ribbon hanging out. So just this much on top I'm leaving unsewn. Then I'm folding those edges over to the inside. I ironed them and then I stitched them down just like this. Next, I'm ironing the raw edge on top with my iron, folding it over 1/2 inch, and then folding it over again to make sure that I have it big enough to fit my ribbon. My ribbon is about a 2-inch ribbon, so I'm folding it over a little over 2 inches, and then I'm sewing along that fold with my sewing machine. Next, I'm taking some ribbon. This is just a grosgrain ribbon in black. Satin would probably be a little bit easier because it's more slidey. And then I'm taking either a safety pin or a really good paper clip, and I'm pulling the ribbon through that casing that I need. And then just make sure that you have enough ribbon to tie a bow at the end. You can clip it again to make that nice little ribbon bottom if you want. And then I'm just putting all of my presents inside. So my Google Home Mini and my chocolate selections from tsc.ca. And for this one too, you can embellish it with something. So I'm just taking this really cute little deer ornament, I'm putting it on top of my bag, kind of attaching it to the ribbon and tying it shut. I also added some greenery to this one and it turned out really cute too. This is one of the cutest gift ideas if you want something unique and practical. I'm using the viral Amazon snack box and turning it into a gift container. I fill each compartment with a little paper shred, then add small gifts into each section. It's so perfect for candy, beauty items, cozy treats, or any little stocking stuffer type gifts. Once it's full, just snap the lid back on, tie it with a bow, and add a little sprig of greenery. The best part is that it's not just packaging. They can actually reuse the snack box afterward. It's like 2 gifts in one. This next idea is something that you can do with all of your wrapping paper tubes. Do not throw them out. You can make them into cute little pillow boxes. Cut them so they're about 6 inches long. It's going to really depend on the size of your gift. And then use your scissors to score half moon shapes in each side of these. So I'm going to pop my little gift in here, which is some essential oil. Then you should be able to push down the sides just like this and tape them in place. This is a really easy and cute way to use all of your wrapping paper rolls so you don't have to throw them out or recycle them. You can use them to wrap little stocking stuffers or tinier gifts. After you have your gift in there and everything's taped up, you can take some extra wrapping paper, wrap it around the middle just like this, and then you can take some macrame cord and add a little bow. There's lots of other different ways you could embellish these, so definitely use your imagination and creativity to come up with something completely unique. If you're looking for a really easy and festive way to make your gift stand out this season, you can use ribbon to make a really cute tree shape on top of your gift. Take a wrapped gift, and here's a little hack. This is the best tape to use on gifts because it's virtually invisible. I will link this in the description box below. Then you're going to take some double-sided tape and add a vertical strip on the top of your gift, from pretty much the top of the gift to the bottom. Then take some velvet ribbon or some satin ribbon and keep it on the roll. Then you're going to start to create a zigzag pattern from the top to the bottom of that tape, making that zigzag wider as you go down. You're going to make a tree shape. Optional, you can take some more double-sided tape and add a little ornament at the top of the tree to look like a tree topper. I'm just using this Walmart snowflake ornament, and I think it looks so cute. Okay, this little combo is one of the handiest things I've ever used for wrapping. It's a wrapping paper cutter and tape dispenser in one, and it's so budget friendly. You just slip your roll of wrapping paper into the opening, pull enough paper out to wrap your gift, then slide the blade across the edge for a perfectly straight cut. No scissors, no ripped edges, no frustration. And the tape dispenser is right on top, so when you're ready to finish wrapping, it's right there waiting. This one is such a small upgrade, but it makes wrapping so much easier. I'm grabbing this beautiful mixing bowl. You can grab any sort of bowl for this gift basket, and you can find this free printable label on my blog. I will link it down in the description box below. I always love to start with some nice basket filler. I'm using this recyclable stuff from Michaels, and then I'm adding some pancake mix. This is just from Dollarama, the dollar store here in Canada, and so is this pink dish towel and this pink themed oven mitt as well. I also got these beautiful pink mixing spoons and pancake flipper from Amazon. I will also link that down in the description box below. So once you have gathered all of your items, just place them inside of the bowl, sort of like I'm doing here. I like to have my taller items at the back of the basket with my shorter items in front. To complete this basket, I'm adding a can of maple syrup and a little faux Christmas tree to kind of give this one more of a holiday feel. Here's another fun last-minute gift idea. You can take a wine bottle or a sparkling juice bottle, grab a pair of socks from Dollar Tree, make sure they're nice and festive, take one sock and pull it up over the bottle just like this. Then take the other sock, wrap it around the neck of the bottle into a bow. You can add some more ribbon if you'd like, a free printable gift tag, and this is a great hostess gift idea, and it looks so cozy. taking a plain wrapped gift and these DIY dollar store wreaths I made. I will leave a link to how I made these in the description box below, but you can use any sort of mini wreath that you want. Next, you're going to want to cut 4 pieces of twine. I got this twine and pretty much all of the gift wrap in this video from IKEA, and you're going to want to make sure that the twine goes up and around each side of your wreath and reaches all the way to the back of your gift. Then pull all of those, hold onto them, and then tie them in a simple square knot on the back of your gift. Now you have this cute wreath and all of the twine on the front. So easy, so cute. I'm adding another free printable gift tag to this gift as well. You can also do this with just 2 strings, one on the top, one on the bottom of the wreath, or 4. I think both look so cute and they're really easy to do. If you have an irregular shaped gift like a teddy bear or like a ball, you can create your own DIY gift bag for that. I've done this in the past, but this time I'm gonna do one with a fun topping. So you basically wanna make sure that your gift wrap is about 4 times as wide as your gift and about 4 inches taller on the top and on the bottom. Then you're gonna fold your wrapping paper so that it meets in the center and tape it up in the center. Fold up the bottom about 4 inches and then open it up and push down those triangles on the right and left side. Then you're going to fold over the top and the bottom triangle so that they meet in the center of the bottom of your bag. Use a piece of Scotch tape to secure this, and then you can open up your bag. Super simple, easy, also a great use for scrap wrapping paper. Now place your gift inside. And then I'm going to do a fun accordion fold technique. I found this on Instagram. I will leave a link to the original creator down in the description box below. I'm folding it back and forth, and then I'm just taking another piece of yarn and I'm tying it from the bottom to the top of this gift bag. I'm also going to add one of those dollar store tassels just to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz. And then also a dollar store ornament. Then I'm using some Scotch tape and I'm just attaching that top middle part of the accordion together so it looks like a beautiful fan. This one turned out so sweet. For this next DIY, I found a sweater from the thrift store. Now don't worry, I'm going to use every single part of this sweater for a whole bunch of different DIYs. For this first one, I'm cutting about 6 inches off the bottom of the sweater sleeve. Now I'm taking a needle and a thread and I'm just putting a knot in the end of the thread and I'm stitching a running stitch around the bottom of this sleeve piece. So a running stitch is when you go in and out of the fabric. I'm leaving about 1/2 inch from the raw edge of this sweater sleeve. Now pull the thread tight so that you've gathered the bottom of this sleeve, and then make a couple of firm knots at the end, tying up your thread and then trim it. Now you can take a mason jar and place it inside of the sleeve. This is a really cute way to embellish a mason jar. You can use this for gifts, you can use this for decor, and just fold over the top edge just like this. So you can place little fairy lights inside and use it as decor around your home for the holiday season. I'm going to show you another way you can embellish a mason jar with a sweater. So you can just cut a detail in a sweater just like this. Just make sure that it is long enough to wrap around one full mason jar. So I'm using this smaller one and I made sure that my piece wrapped around. Take a glue gun, put a strip of hot glue vertically on the mason jar, and then attach your little sweater detail to this glue. Then you're going to want to apply a small strip of hot glue around the top of the jar and attach the rest of the sweater piece to that. You can place a candle inside and light it for a really cute and cozy candle for the holiday season and for winter after. And you can also create a little ornament to go on your tree or to go on the mason jar decor. So I'm taking a cookie cutter, I'm putting it on the sweater. Just make sure you have 2 layers of the sweater under the cookie cutter. Trace that out, pin the 2 layers of the sweater together and cut out the shape. And you can use pretty much every single part of your thrifted sweater to make a bunch of these. You can use them for gift toppers, for decor, and for ornaments. Now take some yarn, I'm just using a sport weight yarn, attach it to a yarn needle, and then do what's called a blanket stitch all the way around your star. So you place the needle through and then through again later in the fabric. And then before you pull the yarn all the way through, you just place the needle through the loop and pull, and that creates a blanket stitch. Go all the way around the star shape, leaving about 1 inch at the end. Take a little bit of polyfill batting, push that inside, and then finish stitching up your star. Once you're finished, tie a knot, trim off your star, and then you can add a little bit of string to create a tie on the top point of the star. Now you can tie your little star ornament to anything you'd like. I'm going to attach mine to a mason jar for a cute little gift. I'm placing some candy inside my mason jar with a cute little sweater sleeve, and then attaching some string and my little ornament on the outside. I love how these upcycled sweater mason jars turned out. You can make a variety of these for gifts or to decorate your home this Christmas. To wrap this one, I'm using some free printable wrapping paper you can find on my blog. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. You can print it on large paper at your print shop, and I am just going to wrap the glasses in this printable wrapping paper. What I like about this wrapping design is that it's black and white, so it matches with virtually any Christmas decor that you might have. So I'm just wrapping this one up as you normally would any present and just using some Scotch tape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm putting this on top of the cheese board because the cheese board is beautiful in itself. And then I'm going to wrap this with a really simple bow. So I measured out some ribbon that was at least 5 times the width of my gift. And then I'm wrapping the top of the ribbon around the entire stack of gifts just like this. Then I am turning the gift clockwise 90 degrees. And then I'm going to turn this top ribbon down at a 90-degree angle, holding the middle with my thumb. Then I'm bringing the ribbon around the top like this. And then I'm taking the piece that I have in my hand and pulling it underneath the entire stack of ribbons. So you have one end of your ribbon down on the bottom right like this, and then one end on the top left like this. Then twist your whole package 90 degrees counterclockwise, and now you're ready to tie your bow. So I'm taking the bottom left piece, I am looping it, taking the top right, looping it around the bottom, and pulling it through just like this. And this makes a really beautiful bow for any sort of present. You could do this on any sort of box or a stacked gift, and then just trim the ribbon off of the bottom of your gift like this, and then you can create a nice little end to your ribbons by folding it in half vertically and then clipping it at an angle. Then to make this look a little bit more festive, I'm putting in some faux greenery that I found at the craft store and putting in some faux berries as well. I think that pretty much any gift can have some faux greenery and berries on it to make it look beautiful for Christmas time. So here is that finished wrapped gift, and I absolutely love how this one turned out. If you have a piece of gift wrap that doesn't quite fit your present, no matter how you fold it, you can just turn your present at an angle and go from there. So you take one of the sides, pull it over, tape it down, and then go ahead and push down the side on the left. I did have to kind of fold these a few different ways to make this particular gift wrap work on this present. I think the issue with this one is the fact that you're not going to have a perfectly sized piece of wrapping paper that's going to fold exactly the way that you want it to. So you might have to kind of play around with different types of folds that you do using this method. I think the key here is just to crease everything nicely once you fold it, and if you have any raw edges, just gently fold them under and crease them and tuck them in. Then you can tape everything at the end, and you're going to be able to use an extra piece of gift wrap that you might not have been able to use traditionally on a gift and actually make it fit if you use this diagonal method. Now we're gonna do a mulled wine mix kit. So I made this mulled wine mix. It is a combination of dried oranges, dried lemons, dried apples, cinnamon sticks, spices, and sugar. I will leave the recipe for it down in the description box below. I found this wine stopper from HomeSense, and this jug was from Real Canadian Superstore. This one also comes with free printable instructions and a tag you can print off. And what I found to work best was I placed my DIY mulled wine mix in a really tall bag, found the tall bag at Michael's, placed that in the pitcher, and then I slid the wine inside just like this. So you'll need to make sure if you're doing this one to grab a pitcher that is nice and large. Next, I'm tying the directions to make the mulled wine onto the neck of the wine bottle. And then I'm adding this cute little LED wine bottle stopper to the inside of the pitcher, just like this. This gift turned out so beautifully, and if you put this all together in a pot, warm it up, it's an absolutely delicious festive drink to enjoy. You can also swap the wine bottle for some juice instead. You can also use large lunch bags to make a really cute and budget-friendly gift wrap. Fold the top down a couple inches and then fold each side over to meet the middle to make a triangle shape. Now your lunch bag looks like a little gingerbread house shape. I'm using a chalk marker and adding some gingerbread house detail. You can just be completely creative with this or copy mine exactly, totally up to you. Adding some windows, doors, hearts, polka dots, all that kind of stuff to make it look like a little gingerbread house. Then you can just add your present right inside, refold the top to make it look like a house, and then punch 2 holes in the top. Then tie it with some twine and you're all ready to give this as a gift. Such a cute way to wrap a gift, or it'd also make a cute treat bag at a Christmas party. If you want to wrap a bottle of wine, you can use a really similar technique but use a napkin. I'm folding a napkin halfway up the bottle, and then I'm pushing in the right hand side and the left hand side, folding those triangles over the top, folding the next layer of triangles over the top. And then you have this beautiful pleated effect on fabric. Now I'm taking some yarn and I'm tying that around the top of the bottle in a beautiful little bow. You can also use ribbon or any other tie that you want for this. And you can really use any fabric you want. You can use a tea towel, a napkin, so many options for this wine wrap. Now I'm just adding a gift tag and some faux greenery, and this one is one of my favorite ways to wrap. You can also use a larger piece of cloth. Any kind of cloth is going to work for this. I found this at Simon's and used the Furoshiki wrapping method to wrap a box. You put the box on top of the fabric at an angle, pull the top and then the bottom over the box, kind of tuck in the sides and pull those over the box, and then tie it into a square knot. You can add faux greenery and a gift tag to this one, and it looks beautiful and you can use it year after year. This next one, we're gonna make a DIY simmer pot kit. This would also make a great gift for so many people. Take an apple and slice it up into about 1/8 inch thick slices, and you can sprinkle some cinnamon on top of that. You're gonna pop these in the oven to dehydrate, and you can also chop up some orange slices as well, put them in the oven too. You're only gonna wanna put your oven at about 175. Bake these for 1 hour, flip them over, and bake them for another hour until all of your apple and orange slices are completely dehydrated. They're gonna look something like this. Now take a mason jar. I collect these pasta jars because I love the gold lids, and you're going to place about 6 of the apple slices inside, about 6 of the dehydrated orange slices. Next, you're going to add about a tablespoon of dried cloves and 1 cinnamon stick. I found these little clippings from my spruce trees outside and added those as well, along with a handful of dried cranberries. You can also add about half of a vanilla bean in here as well. Then you can close it up and attach a DIY gift tag. These are a free printable on my blog. I'll leave the link below. And I also have a little tag that gives the instructions to the recipient on how they can use this simmer pot mix. I think this looks so pretty, and here is how your recipient's going to use it. Boil a pan of water on the stove, and then you can just dump the contents of this simmer kit right inside the pan and simmer it on your stove. It's going to make your home smell so amazing, and it's going to be such a fabulous gift. It's my favorite way to create a really beautiful fluffy bow with wired ribbon on a gift. I've been using this method for a really long time, and I love the results. So you simply wrap some wired ribbon around a gift 2 ways, just like I did here. You don't need to leave a lot of length on it. You only need about 3 inches of length. Now we're going to make a beautiful bow. So keep your ribbon on the spool because you don't know exactly how much ribbon you're going to be using. And then kind of weave it back and forth in your hand and pinch it in the middle every time it reaches your thumb and your forefinger. So I like to do 3 loops on each side, just like this. And then when you're finished, trim the bow off, leave a little bit of length at the end for the tail. Then you can place it on your gift and use those extra little lengths of ribbon you left on your gift to tie it right on and right in the middle of your ribbons. Just do a square knot where you're tying it twice, and then any of those raw edges on your ribbon, there should be 4 now, on top of your gift, you can fold in half vertically and cut at an angle to create that V shape that I like. Now comes my favorite part, which is just fluffing up that ribbon. You can make it look exactly the way you want to by just opening up all those loops. Wired ribbon is fantastic for this. You can even grab one of the raw edges and kind of loop it around the center of the bow to make this really nice fluffy center. I use the same ribbon year after year, and we just kind of put it in one big bag, take it out, and keep wrapping gifts with it over and over. I love how beautiful this looks. Now let's do a sugar cookie and hot cocoa night themed gift basket. I also put a free printable tag on the side of this one. I think this one would be so fantastic for a whole family. Adding some basket filler, adding it in natural color and in red. I made this sugar cookies in a jar. I will leave the recipe in the description box below. You could also just buy a sugar cookie mix as well, and then you can add a rolled up apron and a rolling pin to the back of the basket. Next, I'm adding some hot chocolate mix, a jar full of mini marshmallows, and I found these mugs at Walmart a couple years ago, and I love them, adding them to the front of the gift basket. And I often like to rearrange my gift baskets as I go along and just create a nice pleasing look as I go. These beautiful copper cookie cutters were from HomeSense, which is like Home Goods in the States. This one is so fantastic, and I love how it turned out. Here's a fun topper idea. I found these little bags at Dollarama. They're just like small little paper bags. I'm using my glue gun to make a T shape on them, and I'm putting 5 of them together, stacking them just like this. Now when you unfold it, it makes this cute little half a snowflake. You can add little details like I'm doing here by cutting some triangles and patterns out of the side, or you can just leave it as is, totally up to you. Now after I've added some cutout details, when I pull it apart, it looks like a beautiful snowflake. I am simply using my glue gun, adding some glue on the bottom of this half snowflake and placing it on top of a gift as a really pretty winter themed gift topper. Okay, so let's start with a plain wrapped gift, and we're gonna use a cookie cutter to embellish it. Nice and cheap, and it looks so cute. I'm gonna use this Snowflake one, and then you're gonna cut some pieces of baker's twine. You're gonna cut 2 pieces that are about 5 feet long. It really depends on your present. Just cut them nice and long so they can wrap a few times, folded in half around your gift. Place them through each side of your cookie cutter just like this, and then wrap the tails around your gift. You can also place a gift tag on the string before you finish wrapping the string around the gift. Now flip the gift over to the back and then tie those 2 strings together and you're all done. This is a really cute way to wrap a gift and it looks amazing. You can do a really similar thing with these beautiful brass colored rings from Dollarama. I'm just using one of these rings and then I'm cutting 4 pieces of this red yarn and I'm gonna wrap it through this loop 4 times. You just wanna make sure that your yarn is going to be long enough to fold in half and wrap around your gift. Now you're going to pull 2 pieces on the top, on the bottom, 2 pieces on the left and right, turn your gift around and then tie those yarn in the back of the gift. Now just make sure that that ring is centered in the middle of your gift, and then you can embellish the ring with some faux greenery and a gift tag. So easy, so cute, and I love this one too. I'm going to show you how to add a little bit of a macrame touch to your gift wrapping this year. I found this one on TikTok as well, and this one is by Taste Made Home. She has lots of beautiful ideas on her TikTok. So you wrap a gift with some macrame string and kind of cross it on the top left of the gift. So you don't want to have the cross right in the center. Make sure to leave quite a bit of length on each side of your tie here, so at least 10 inches. Then you're going to tie a macrame square knot. So you create a D shape with the left string, and then you take the right string, go over the first macrame cord under your center string and pull and tie through. Then you repeat this with the other side, so you make a D shape with the right hand side, take your left hand string, go over that cord under your center cord and pull. I'll make sure to leave really detailed instructions for this macrame knot down in the description box below if you've never used it before. Once you've made a few of these knots, you can take some faux or some dried greenery and kind of place it inside your next knot. As you can see here, I'm just placing it inside one of the D shapes, and then I'm tying my macrame cord around it to secure it. Then you can tie a few more knots and add another piece of greenery. This also looks beautiful with dried flowers. You could use faux greenery. Again, use your imagination. It could also look really pretty with some of those boho themed wooden beads. I love this idea because all of the things I'm using here are compostable or recyclable, so this is a great way to make this gift wrap a little more sustainable. Once you reach the end of your string, or however you want your little detail to be, you can tie a square knot at the very end, trim off any excess string, and then just fringe those edges by pulling open the string. I'll leave a link in the description box below to the macrame cord that I use. This one is so pretty and I cannot wait to give it away. Now let's create a gift basket for a coffee lover. I'm calling this the Coffee Survival Kit just for you. Again, there's a printable label. I'm adding some red colored basket filler because I found the red Starbucks holiday coffee and wanted to make that the theme color of this basket. Adding some coffee syrup I found at HomeSense, along with this beautiful dish towel. It was on sale at Anthropologie last year, and so was the matching cup. I'm adding some faux greenery to this one as well to give it a little bit more interest, and then adding some chocolates into the coffee cup to give it that finishing touch. This one is so simple, but I love how it turned out, and it would be a great gift for so many different people. You could also make this one into a tea theme as well. Again, I'm upcycling these Amazon boxes. I'm gonna make a card holder in this gift wrap. So when you're cutting your gift wrap, make sure it's about 8 inches longer than you need it to wrap around the gift. You're gonna fold it in the back just like this, and then fold it up about 3 inches or so to create a pocket on the front. You can adjust the back as needed like I'm doing here, place your gift inside, and then wrap it as per usual with that pleat in place. Make sure to do lots of creasing to make your gifts look nice and neat and tidy. And now you have a little pocket to put a card in, some faux greenery, and you can add a monogram to the card, some stickers, whatever you want. So easy, so cute. You could even add some extra gifts in this little pocket. Now we're going to use some yarn to make some sweet little adorable pom-poms. All you need to do is grab a few layers of yarn and wrap them around your hand about 6 to 10 times depending on the thickness of your yarn. I like to use a few different textures and a few different colors of yarn to make these extra whimsical. Then you're going to tie a piece of yarn in the middle just like this, nice and tight with a square knot. Take some scissors and cut all the loops apart. Now the pom-poms I'm making here aren't going to be exactly perfect. They're supposed to be a little fluffy and whimsical. So now that I'm cutting all of the loops, I'm just going to give it a trim with my scissors. You can play around with these and use lots of different colors of yarn. Try using just 1 color, 2 color, 3 colors. Wrap them around more times, less times to get some different effects. And once you make a few of these, you'll be able to use them to embellish your gifts this year. You can even use them to decorate your Christmas tree too. I've done a Christmas tree with pom-poms in the past as well. Now I'm taking this Walmart gift wrap and I'm going to wrap this simple square gift. My recommendation is to keep every single scrap of wrapping paper that you can because you can use it on other gifts, and I'll show you how I do that in a little bit. Another tip I have for really beautiful wrapped gifts is just to make sure to crease every single fold. That's going to give your gift more of a professional look. Now I'm taking some of that big chunky gold colored roving yarn and I'm wrapping that around my gift just like this. I love how it has a whimsical crafty look to it. I'm tying it in the center, and now I'm taking one of the pom-poms I created and just tying the yarn around that, giving the yarn a little bit of a trim. This is such a sweet way to wrap a gift for a child. I'm gonna give this one to one of my daughters. I found this book of clarinet music at Value Village and it was only $1, so I thought this would make for the perfect vintage inspired Christmas DIY. You can do a lot of things with sheet music and I'm gonna show you a couple of ideas. So I opened up the book and I ripped out the pages. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut each sheet of music into 8 pieces. So I'm folding it in half, cutting it with my scissors, folding it in half again, cutting it, folding it in half a final time, and cutting it. Now I'm rolling it up from one of the corners to create a cone shape just like this, putting some hot glue on the flap and pressing it down until it adheres together. Now you can take a little wood round or you can take a round cork trivet, anything that has a round shape, and apply some hot glue to the back of the cone and place it onto the round shape. Then I'm repeating this step, making some more of these cones, attaching them together with hot glue, placing some hot glue on the back of the cone, and then attaching it to my round wood shape. So you're going to want to put 2 across from each other like this, and then 2 more cones opposite each other on the other side to create kind of a quadrant. And then you're going to create more cones and fill up all the spaces until you have a round mini wreath. So you can do this on a larger scale, or you can do it on a smaller scale like I'm doing here. Now, once your mini wreath shape is complete, you can embellish the middle however you want. So I'm just using some faux berries and some faux cedar that I had on hand. I love keeping this stuff around year after year, and I'm just using some wire cutters to trim it and some hot glue to put it in place in the center of my wreath. Now I'm putting some more hot glue on the back of these dried oranges. If you don't know how to make dried oranges, I will leave a link to that in the description box below. So easy, and you can use them for so many things. So here is how my mini wreaths turned out. You can use some sticky tape and hang these up on your wall, attach a string and hang them in the window, or I love these as gift toppers. So I just attach them to the top of a package with a bow around, and I think they look so classy and vintage inspired. Now I'm taking another plain wrapped gift, and I'm using some of my IKEA twine, wrapping it around the gift about 5 times, and then tying it in a bow at the end. After this, you can kind of slide your bow over to the left, grab some dried orange slices and some cedar clippings. I just grabbed these from my yard, and I'll leave a link in the description box below on how to make dried oranges. Really simple and budget friendly. Use some hot glue and attach those to the twine. This is such a classic way to embellish a gift. So easy, so simple, and I love that these can be composted after use. I think this technique looks so beautiful with all of the other presents that I've wrapped this year, and everything looks so pretty under the tree. Don't forget to check the links in the description box below if you want to download my free printable gift tags. They're a Christmas gift from me to you, and I hope you enjoy them.